Wasn't that cool? I have an intro. I have an intro now. Like I actually know what I'm doing. My best friend made that for me. Isn't she so talented? Oh my god. I was so shocked. She texted me last night and said, hey, send me your little avatar for your peacock. Send me that file. And I was like, okay. So I sent it. I had no idea what she was doing. And like half an hour later, she sends me an email that has that little video and the banner that's at the top of the page of my YouTube page now. And then she was like, oh, and do you want me to do your avatar too? And I'm like, yeah. So she did that too. And like my husband and I were walking around Walmart when I got the email, and I was like, baby, look at this. Look at what she made for me. Isn't this so cool? It's really cool. So she's still getting her like username and all that stuff together. So once she has that, I will start crediting her in the description box because she deserves credit for that. I wasn't going to learn how to like edit videos and figure out all that stuff, but when she sent me that, I was like, I guess I need to figure this out because that is not going to waste. That is some skills. Anyway, hi everybody. My name is Katie, the Crafty Peacock, and this is my channel about cross stitch. We're going to talk about cross stitch today. It's been like I think almost 2 weeks since I did my last video. It's been a little busy. So, and honestly, I haven't worked on many things. Like I've done a lot, but it's only been on a few projects. So, you know, that's about to change soon though. Yes, it is. I have notes today. Like, I'm actually a little bit prepared. Cool, right? So, I figure I'll start off with whips. Let's start off with that. First up, and I did this for the 24 hours of cross stitch, so I got a lot done on it. But that one, the exploding Tardis. Yep. Cat's Cross Stitchery on Etsy. It lives in the elephant bag. I'm gonna start showing you guys the bags if I can remember. I've got a lot, and like I made them all, and I love them all. I just keep forgetting because like even the first two videos, I was so nervous that like I just kept forgetting. I'm getting better though. I'm feeling more comfortable. Anyway, so here's how far I am now. Oh, since I have figured out video editing, I'm going to put up a picture of what it looked like before I started 24 hours of cross stitch here. And, you know, I'll get used to putting that in before I show the actual whip. Still learning. So yeah, that's where I'm at. I got a lot done during 24 hours and beyond. Man, especially from like further away. I just love how this is coming along. So many different shades of yellow and blue. There's like 3 or 4 shades of yellow that I literally can't tell the difference between them. But I keep them straight. Anyway. Yeah. That one's pretty great. And that one is on 18 count Aida. Just regular old cheap Aida. Next up was my birthday start. Oh, this one's still got the needle in it. Oops. Which I just took out. Oh god. I need to not lose that needle. How about that? Okay. So I started this fresh on the 14th. And This is on 36 count Legacy by Picture This Plus. Check out those tiny little Milanese stitches up at the top. Those were a lot harder than I was anticipating. Because like, they seem simple in the instructions because it's just like up, down, up, down, up. It's like a satin stitch, right? Yeah. I kept skipping holes somehow. Anyway, harder than they seem. But I did finally get the hang of it. I am loving the variegation. I changed the color of the words because the chart has them in brown. And I was like, brown's not my thing. Let's go for the green. Of course, naturally, I did not take the actual photo of it out of the bag, and it's a tight bag. Sorry. I was not prepared on that one. Okay, here we go. That's what it's supposed to look like. But yeah, coming along, slowly but surely. This one lives in my Paris bag. I fell in love with that fabric. It's got the Eiffel Tower on it, and roses, and random French words that I probably knew how to say in college and no longer do. And with all of the sets that I make, I also make a little, it's basically a Bitsy Bob knockoff, but it's got a little magnet in there, you know, and a little floss bag. But yeah. And I put a little tassel on. Anyway, here's that. And then this is one that I showed this in my first video. I showed this one. Self-medicate with cross stitch. Because we all kind of do a little bit, right? That's what a hobby is all about. And if I can find one, I'll put up a photo of what it looked like last time here. If not, I may not be able to find one. I was not expecting to need photos. I'm gonna start doing that, like taking photos of things. But yeah, got a little more done. Mostly over here on the house. Did a little bit on that today. Didn't get a whole lot of work on that one done. I do have another piece I'm working on that I cannot show because it's a gift. And I don't know if the recipient watches my videos, but if they do and they see this one, they will instantly know that it's for them. Like, no question. So I have to keep that one under wraps. My plan though is to I'll take a video of like it once it's done and framed and I've got it ready to go, and I'm hoping I can get a video of them receiving it and then get their permission to include that in one of my Flosstube videos. If not, I'll just put up the one of me showing it. See, referring to my notes here, make sure I didn't miss anything. Okay. Yeah, I have no finished objects or framed objects to show. Like I said, my spare time has been a little lacking on the weekends recently, so I haven't sat down to do that yet. But hopefully I will soon, so I'll be able to show you that. I do have a few shout-outs I wanted to do. Again, I was so nervous my first two videos, I forgot to actually do that. Yep. So PD Stitcher shouted me out a little while back. It was like her second video, I think. So I am already watching her. She's really good. She's working on this Disney series that's like stylized Disney characters, and it's really cool. I've never actually seen these patterns before. But I think she's doing like the Queen of Hearts, I think it was. Maybe it was just the Queen from Snow White. I thought that one was really pretty with the purple on black. Yeah. Let's see. So yeah, go check her out. The next one is Vale the Stitcher. She also shouted me out on her first video, which, again, thank you guys. She does a lot of like geeky patterns, which is awesome. Like, I love the like Plum Street Sampler and all the stuff that's really popular, but you know, I love me some geeky stuff too. She actually designed patterns for a while, and one of them was this one. It was Dungeons and Dragons, and it had the 20-sided die and a 1. Like they rolled the 1, and it said, "Don't worry, I have a dice plan." Love it. My husband plays Dungeons and Dragons. I have in the past. I don't really anymore, but he still does, and he thought that was just awesome. So yeah, and she's got a lot of stuff like that. She's really good. Let's see. Oh, Ellen Reed. I'm sure most of you have probably watched her videos by now. She is gaining a following very quickly, rightfully so. She is hilarious. Oh my god. So, you know, her first video, it almost didn't even feel like a first video. You know, she plays in a band, apparently a very popular band up in Canada. I'm nowhere near Canada, so I'd never really heard of them. But she's clearly an entertainer, like used to being in front of an audience. And at one point in her video, she said, "Sorry that this is so rough." And I'm like, this is rough? Dude, I can't wait for you to really get into your groove, because she's hilarious. Oh, she's gonna be a popular one, I think. Let's see, and this kind of ties into 24 Hours of Cross Stitch. Quirks and Stitches, Jen Lee, and her husband Brandon streamed on Twitch cross-stitching. That was fun. I jumped in at like the last, I don't know, 20 minutes. I had completely forgotten about it, and I saw something on Facebook about it, and I was like, oh, right. So I'll go over to Twitch, and I catch them like right at the end. But that was really cool. That was... I know people do stream their cross-stitch, but I don't know, it's different when it's someone that I already follow, I guess. It was really cool. I enjoyed that. And like I said, she does the 24 Hours of Cross Stitch. If you don't know what that is, it's a marathon stitching. Go check her out and get into that. It's a lot of fun. She does put up like ways for you to track your stitches, like your time or however many stitches you do. I don't like that. For me, you know, I like watching other people do it. But when it comes to like tracking my stitches, it frustrates me, because I want to just stitch. I don't want to be like, I did 10 stitches. Write that down. I just want to stitch, and it frustrates me to stop and think about how much I'm stitching. So I don't really do that part of it, but I do like take the excuse to do nothing but cross stitch for an extended period of time, you know. I'm gonna do that. I'm sorry, I'm looking over here, I'm looking at my notes. I should probably start like checking stuff off so I don't get lost on the page. Anyway, so I bought some stuff. I sent Trish at Threads Entwined some money, and in exchange she sent me a package of stuff in it, and it's great. So the main reason I placed the order is there's a SAL coming up, Stitch Along. Long Dog. It's a Long Dog SAL. first heard about it on Erin, 2 Martini Stitcher, her channel. She mentioned like she and Caroline Zook were doing a long dog sal, and my ears perked up. I'm like, what's this about a reason, an excuse to get a long dog pattern like I've been wanting to do for forever? So I was all over that, and I immediately went and I just started looking at long dog patterns, trying to see if I could find one that really spoke to me on a spiritual level, you know? I don't know about spiritual, but I did find one that I liked. And of course, everybody else likes it too. I didn't realize that it was new. I just saw it and I was like, ooh, I like that one. But apparently everybody's doing it right now. Templar Prophecy. I love it. And I didn't love it at first. I don't know, the first time I saw it, I was just like, okay. But then I really started looking at the pattern. So there's like a few things down here that I really like. I like the rampart lions. I love this tree with the little fox and the rabbit underneath it. Then I kind of looked up here, and this whole little scene is just so interesting. Like, I love the knight, and I love the dragon. They're about to do battle, right? Then there's, like, hang on, I'm trying to get it. There's this little guy right here, and he just looks so concerned. Look at his face. Like, it looks like he's trying to decide whether he should jump in and break up the fight. And there's this guy that looks like he's about to make some popcorn, because this is going to be an interesting fight. And then there's this little jerk right here. Do you guys notice this guy? He looks like he is judging all of that knight's life choices right now. Look at him. He's so judgmental. And I saw that bird and I was like, oh, that's it. This is it. This is the one I need. I thought that was hilarious and amazing, and I cannot wait to stitch this. The SAL starts on the 30th. So if you're wanting to join in, please do. It's hosted by C. Zook Stitch, right? Yeah, C. Zook Stitch, Caroline Zook. And then Erin, 2 Martini Stitcher, is, I think, kind of co-hosting it. I'm not entirely clear on what all's happening with that. I just heard Long Dog Sal and jumped in with 2 feet. So, yeah, that's gonna be great. This pattern is forever long. Look at how many pages this is. Like, these are in those plastic sheet protectors, but I have 2, like, front and back. It's a big pattern. I can't wait. And on that order, I also got the fabric for it, because I don't have any pieces of fabric that big and I wanted something fancy. Ain't that pretty? This is Picture This Plus Feldspar, 36 count. And I have noticed online there are like no decent photos and videos of this that I was able to find. I just kind of took a chance on it because the image that Picture This Plus has on their website is not accurate at all, in my opinion. That said, it's still a beautiful, beautiful piece of fabric. Like, all of these modeling bits and colors. And that is showing up pretty true. It's maybe a little bit darker in the video than in person, but not by much. Like, there's like some pinks and peaches, and the gray is maybe a little more blue. I think it is a little more blue. And it's showing up maybe washed out just a touch. Yeah, that's awesome. And I did a poll about this on my Instagram, and the poll surprised me a little bit. I decided I was going to do DMC because overdyed floss with this one was going to be astronomically high. This thing needs like 18 skeins. not doing that at $2.50 a pop. So I'm going for DMC, and I'm trying to like decide how I want to dye them to make it look less DMC-y. So when I did the poll, I only had these two up. And that's just the straight floss right there, nothing done to it. This one is coffee dyed. And you're kind of able to see what my concern was with that one in this better than in the photo. But it kind of blends in. Like here's just a single line of the lightest part of that thread with the coffee dye, and it really blends in with the fabric. And I was worried, excuse me, allergies. I was worried that it was going to blend in too much and that the pattern would get lost. So I decided against that. Even though that one was the winner on the poll. But it was neck and neck the whole time, man. I was expecting people to be like all for the coffee dye. And it was close. I want to say the final percentage was something like 52 to 48. Neck and neck the whole time. So I was gonna just do the regular floss, but it's just so bright. And that's not really what I wanted. And you can barely even see it up here. Is the lightest color. I just decided to do like just a test strip to see how it showed up on its own. Because there are some spots where, you know, there could be just a line of just the really light color, and it was just too light, too subtle. So I got some Rit dye. I went to Walmart and I got me some Rit dye. I got pearl gray and teal. I got the teal. So I think I'm gonna go with this one, which is just the teal. Only that color. I did do just the pearl gray, which is this one, and again, I had the same problem with the coffee dye. It just blends in. It's kind of hard to see exactly, but it's frustrating because I really wanted the gray. But whatever. And then I did a mix of this one and the gray. The teal and the gray. And I like that one too, but again, I'm running into the blending issue. So I think I'm going to go for this one. It does not have the blending issue. So I may try to get it a little bit darker. I didn't leave it in for very long. I left it in for like not even 5 minutes. So, and I know it says you're supposed to leave it in for like at least 10. So when I actually do the skeins, I'll see about really leaving them in for a good bit of time and see if I can really get that darker. So yeah, that's my plan for the Templar prophecy. Oh, and the pattern says something like there are like clues or something hidden in the pattern. I don't know what it's talking about. I mean, like, I love it. There's little bits and bobs everywhere. Like, everything is really cool. But, like, clues to what? What is it talking about? So, if anybody knows what that's about, clue me in. Because I don't. I just thought it was a cool pattern. Another thing I got, flipping my notes around, sorry. Okay. Oh, also, with the 18 skeins that thing needs, the Templar Prophecy. So I went to Hobby Lobby, that's like my only craft store around here, and bought every skein that they had of that color, which was DMC 121. They're Delft Blue Variegated. 12 skeins. And I had to do a rain check for 6 more. I went to the girl that is in the sewing section. I was like, hey, you know, do you know if you have any more of these? Like, I need more. I need more. And she was like, we don't, but we're placing an order today. How many do you need? And I was like, 6. And she was like, oh, okay, well, let's do a rain check for you and make sure that we order those in addition. And I'm like, okay. So they're gonna give me a call sometime next week to come and pick up my stash. I could see the thought in her brain when I told her I needed 6 more. She was like, God, what is this chick doing with all of this floss, man? Big things. I'm doing big things. So I found out something new about myself. Apparently I like sheep. I didn't know this until pretty recently. I'm like looking through patterns, and when I got Templar Prophecy, of course, this is still all haul, by the way. This is all I got from Trish. I was looking at Templar Prophecy, and then I was like, I gotta follow the Pam and Steph rule. No pattern should travel alone. Right? Right. So I'm looking around at other things. I'm like, oh, okay, well, I'll pick out another pattern. I found 2 that I really liked, and I couldn't decide. Couldn't decide which one I liked more. And they both had sheep. I seem to be attracted to this. I keep finding patterns of like things they're on Instagram or whatnot. I'm like, oh, that's so cute. It's got a sheep on it. You know, I think I have a thing for sheep. Anyway, so this was one of them. Of course, I got both. So I couldn't decide, and I got both. This was one. Patchwork sheep. Oh my god, he is so cute. With his little quilt squares and the little tiny sheep. I love the saying, too. That's great. Count your blessings. Stitch them one by one. I shall. Oh, adorable. So I didn't get any of the stuff to do this one, like the floss and whatnot, but, you know, I'll have the pattern ready to go. The next one I got is this one. Judge not. But again, so many sheep. So many sheep. I think this one's going to be a little expensive to kit up. It's got a fair amount of floss on it. But stash building, right? Stash building. That's what this is. I'm ready. I'm ready to stitch some sheep. And then I got something else. But I'm so excited. I love this. I've wanted this for so long. I have coveted this. It's the one with actual threads. Oh, look at that. Look at it. And then it opens up again. And then it opens up again. Look at all that. I'll just peek over the top at you. Isn't that just amazing? And then it's got, oh, that's right. It opens up again. Oh my god. I can't even get it all in the shot. Look at this. And every one of these is real threads. Oh. Like half of it's in French, so of course I can only understand part of it. But, oh my god. I have wanted one of these for so long, and then she had one. I got her last one. Sorry, guys. But I was using the 15% off code that Pam and Steph are doing. Just keep stitching. And I was like, you know what? I'm never gonna find one for cheaper, probably, than 15% off. So I went ahead and grabbed it. And I love it. So great. And also, because Trish is apparently a wonderful and generous person, included in that, she sent me a freebie floss. It's a limited edition Gentle Arts. I've already bobbinated it, obviously. It didn't come like this. It came like Gentle Arts always comes. But I bobbinate all of my floss, including the fancy floss. And I did this one without really thinking. So, yeah. If I can get it to focus. Nope. pretty true color-wise. It's really, really pretty. So yeah, I don't know what I'm going to use that for, but it's going to go to something special. Something real special. So if you haven't looked around Threads and Twin's website, go do so. They have a lot of great stuff. And her shipping time was like real quick. I placed the order late-ish on a Saturday, like, and I'm in Tennessee, so I realize they're a few hours behind me. I want to say I placed it at like 4 or 5 p.m. I got a completed notification, like they had grabbed everything for it. They had grabbed all of the stuff to put in the box and have that ready to go. I got that within like an hour or two. And then it shipped like first thing on Monday morning. I had a tracking number, and I had movement on that tracking number by like lunchtime. You know, you buy something from Amazon, it has a tracking number and it doesn't move until the next day. So, wow. You have better shipping times than Amazon, Trish. That's awesome. I was impressed. I was really impressed. And the packaging was so pretty. It came in a pink envelope. Like, hot pink. It was great. We pick up the mail when we come home from work, and my husband opened up the mailbox, and there were 2 packages in there, and I instantly knew which one was mine. Like, that is my pink package. Thank you very much. I'll take that. So pretty. I was very impressed with the entire experience. I will be buying from you again. If you watch this. I don't know. Let's see. So, I said earlier that I don't like doing tracking challenges. Like, I don't like keeping track of what I'm stitching and all that. Stitch-alongs, though. I love stitch-alongs. And I already talked about the long dog sal that I'm going to be doing on the 30th. I also signed up for another one because apparently sals are my thing. It's right up my alley. Stitching with people. Stitching with people. I love doing that. The one that I am going to be doing is hosted by, sapphiremthandcrafts, and it's sapphiremthandcrafts. And that's her name on Instagram and on Etsy. And if you go on Etsy to her store, that's where you actually sign up for the stitch along, and she sends you like your welcome packet and all the information you need. She's doing a mini sal too, so like there's the big one that I don't know is gonna be like maybe about like that. I don't know. I haven't actually like measured exactly how big it's gonna be. And then she's doing a mini one that's like, about like that. So if you don't want to devote a whole lot of time to it, or if you're new to stitching, that would be a good one. But it's Pride and Prejudice. I love Pride and Prejudice. It's one of my favorite books. I love Jane Austen. Love Jane Austen. And I didn't love Jane Austen for a long time until I realized that the tone she uses in a lot of her books is like snarky and sarcastic. And then I went back and I read them again with that tone, and I was like, this woman's a genius. Genius writing. Fantastic. Love it. So I got all of the floss, also DMC. I already had one, so one's on a bobbin. And I already had the linen. This is just, plain white linen. Nothing fancy there. But I think this is going to be really, really pretty. Look at that. I love those colors. And the colors is what sold me. Because I was like, oh, well, mystery stitch along. And then she posted, like, what the threads were going to be. And I was like, yeah, I want that. And then she also put a photo, like a sneak peek of like a corner of it. I can't wait. I can't wait. So if you want to join in on that, it's, like I said, sapphiremthandcrafts, and it's #StitchingBookClub. And I'm getting the impression that it's going to be like, once this one's finished, she's going to have another one. So we're like doing the stitch along and reading a book at the same time, which is kind of cool, you know, encourage me to read. I do love to read. I have a Kindle, but stitching usually takes priority. I like stitching. You guys understand that. I also started using a planner. I got this at Home Goods. It's Clementine brand. Pretty easy to use, but you know, I have my stitch along stuff on it, and then like, let me cover part of that up. Okay, yeah. So I have like goals up here for stuff that I want to make sure I do every month, and then I have important dates, and I don't know what I'm gonna do up here. I haven't decided yet. But yeah, it's pretty great. And then there's that. So I've got, at a month, I can see where things are and where I'm at and what's coming up. And then whenever, like if I run across a new floss tuber that I really want to make sure I mention next time, I can always just put it in here. So I'm hoping this will help me keep track of stuff with Flosstube, because I can look back and be like, oh right, I worked on that. Or oh right, I need to make sure I mention that. So, because I know the last 2 videos have been a little rough as far as planning goes. There was no planning. I just sat down and started filming. So hopefully that will not be the case from here on out. I'll be a little more prepared. Yeah. Winnie. Hey baby. I have the window open and she's looking outside, because that's what cats do. She's too far away for me to try to catch. Anyway, I think that's it for today. I should be able to get this up pretty quick. I am gonna take the time to edit the video though. And hopefully be able to get it up tonight without any issues. But until next time, which hopefully will only be a week away, we'll see. Yeah, until next time, happy stitching and have a good week. Bye guys.